Yeah, cool. So, hey, let's forget about Arsenal for now. Man's recovered from that. I'm on my annual leave, like that. I'm on my annual leave in terms of talking Arsenal stuff. I'm chilling. But yeah, Champions League final this weekend, and it's the big one. Borussia Dortmund versus Real Madrid. Now, first and foremost, just to share my brief thoughts on these two teams. Borussia Dortmund, they're a team that I've admired for years. Like, I feel like they were everyone's, second team in Europe. Like, a lot of people had admiration for Borussia Dortmund. Streets will never forget, the Borussia Dortmund 2013 side, the one that, smoked Real Madrid 4-1 and stuff like that. Remember when Borussia Dortmund got to the final as well against Bayern in their Klassiker, and unfortunately they lost 2-1. I remember Arjen Robben scoring the win on that night. And I just remember thinking, Dortmund deserve, man. They deserve a Champions League. Obviously, the last time they won a Champions League was in the 90s. And I'm pretty sure at that time that it was an upset. But yeah, man, Dortmund, I think they deserve it. They deserve it. They've been arguably the best team in the Champions League in terms of consistency. Like, they were in the group of death. Let's not forget, they were in a group with Milan, Newcastle, and who else were they in the group with? So Milan, PSG. Do you get it? Look at the group Dortmund was in. Loads of guys were like, "Oh, Dortmund's gonna finish last. Dortmund's gonna this. Dortmund's gonna that." I'm pretty sure, bro. They beat PSG. They beat Newcastle. They beat Milan. Like, Dortmund, they really deserve to be, where they are. They deserve to be where they are, which is the final for sure. And obviously, loads of storylines going on for Dortmund. You've got the Sancho angle, you've got the Edin Terzic angle. Because obviously, with Dortmund, unfortunately, last season, they weren't able to win the league on the final day. Well, the season before last. Technically, we're still in this season. So, yeah, last season, when they should have won it on the final day and all they had to do was win at home. Yeah, and a lot of people, they're going to be thinking, you know what? Dortmund need to win this one for Royce. Or if Royce is starting, he needs to win it for Dortmund. We're interested to see if it starts or not, though. But yeah, so many storylines that play. Obviously, Sancho, especially with how it ended with, Ten Hag and stuff like that, and the public kind of like back and forth between those two. It's going to be so interesting for sure. And Sancho's had a revival, and now he's like everyone's second favorite baller again. And for the Real Madrid side, listen, they're going for the 15th. I remember it was just yesterday. They were going for the Decima, like that, and now they're on the 15th. It's crazy. So many like legacies can be enhanced. Obviously, with like Kroos retiring end of the season. Hey, do you get what I'm saying? The storylines are looking crazy, but one person has to lose. That's the thing. One person has to lose. You got Bellingham, who's had a worldie of a season, and he was actually granted the La Liga Player of the Year award. But yeah, La Liga, so big ups to Bellingham. But yeah, man, it's Bellingham versus Sancho, the English storyline. You got Cruz versus Royce, the German storyline. You got the battle of the managers, Terzic, young up and coming manager, versus Ancelotti, the veteran, everyone's favourite uncle. It's a mad one, isn't it? It's a mad one. Obviously, the favourites are Real Madrid, but don't sleep on Dortmund, man. I'm telling you, it's a one-off game. Things happen. First and foremost, we're gonna give Marco Reus his props because he's an absolute legend of Borussia Dortmund. And listen, when you say the name Marco Reus to me, immediately what comes into my head is loyalty, because he's been at Dortmund from the very, very beginning. Like, he's seen all kinds of players. He's seen Hummels leave, come back, have a resurgence. Like, he's seen everything. He's seen Götze leave. He's seen Lewandowski leave. He's seen, he's seen the Subotic, the Gundogan, every type of player you can name from Dortmund, he's seen, play there and leave. And guess what? It's the constant him. It's just him. And obviously, Hummels has come back into the team. So yeah, it's just him and Hummels. And obviously, Marco Reus announced that, yeah, his last season at Dortmund. And listen, man, you got to love the yellow wall, man, for the appreciation they're showing, man. Listen, Dortmund fans, they're some fans they are, man. Some fans, with the tifos and everything. But yeah, man, it's gonna be really exciting. I actually don't. I'm not sure if he'll start. I don't think Royce. I don't think Turgis is gonna start Royce, but I want Royce to start. I need Royce to start, for the storyline and everything. But listen, man, last game of the season, he was able to get a couple goals and assists, and yeah, man, it's gonna be exciting because obviously Royce, he's been unfortunate in different instances with international competitions, getting an injury just before and stuff like that, and sometimes with Dortmund it's just not working out, and Bayern pretty much winning the league like every year. But this is an interesting one, all the way to the final again. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. Royce, the boyhood Dortmund fan. Interestingly, obviously he had a little stint at Gladbach when he was younger. Came back to Dortmund and it's been Dortmund ever since, man. Some player, man. But yeah, the Marco Reus storyline is in full effect. But let me complicate things for you. Tony Kroos as well. You've got that storyline. Like, Tony Kroos is actually retiring from the game. One of the greatest midfielders of all time. Look at the admiration that his peers are showing him, and the love, the respect. Tony Kroos has 5 Champions League to his name, a World Cup. He's won at Bayern, the Champions League too, don't forget. He's won at Bayern. Obviously, he even had a stint at Bayer Leverkusen. See, he's just done everything. His CV is impeccable. And he's one of the greatest midfielders of all time. His pass completion rate in La Liga, the average across all the seasons has been, I'm pretty sure it's like 94%. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, definitely one generational midfielder, man. When you think about it, you look at the landscape today, you're like, there's not many Tony Krooses. There's not many, man. I can't even think of one, actually. Let me just be real, I can't think of one. But yeah, man, he's got another opportunity to enhance his legacy. And listen, it's about to get spooky, but let me tell you this here. Real Madrid win the Champions League and Germany win the Euros. Kroos Ballon d'Or shouts? In his last season? Guys they'll want to hear it because Kroos has had a really good season at Real Madrid. He's had a really good season as well, so that's not even a crazy shout. Let's be real, it's not even a crazy shout. But yeah, man, Kroos, master dictator, tempo setter, he's gonna be on it for sure. To be honest, when is he never pretty much like on his game? But yeah, man, Saturday will be an extra bit of motivation for him. I'm sure all the team for themselves and also for him, they'll want to give him like a great send-off for sure, man. See, and one of the teammates beside Tony Kroos that's going to be looking to, get his first Champions League, Jude Bellingham. Man, oh man, the season Jude Bellingham has been unreal. Definitely crazy. Like, more than he could ever have dreamed or hoped of. Because listen, Jude didn't need to come into Real Madrid and be scoring left, right and centre for us to appreciate him having a good season. Obviously, naturally, he's an 8, so you expect him to chip in here and there, but nothing crazy. Just, do his shift, keep the ball moving, stabilise the midfield. But this season, he said, yo, I'm on a Frank Lampard team. I'm going to score here, there, guys are scoring 20 plus goals. It's his first season for the Los Blancos. He's been moving mad this season. I'm not going to lie. What a season he's had. And, the Englishmen are proud of him. They're proud of him. What an export. What an export to Spain. And yeah, he's doing England proud. And listen, man, all the experience he's getting playing with, the crop of players that he is with at Madrid, innit? It's going to make him a better player. It's going to make him a better player for sure. And listen, he's going to be hungry to get that first Champions League for sure. He's got his first taste of trophies already in his first season. He's going to be moving mad outside there. I think he's going to want to show the world, yeah. I had a sick season, but guess what? I'm going to top it off with a crazy performance. I think he's one to look out for, especially because, remember, Dortmund needs his old club. And Jude Bellingham, obviously we know he was at Birmingham before Dortmund, but Dortmund really propelled him to the world, because Dortmund, as you know, is a great place for young players to develop, and they look after you there. So, all types of emotions. It's going to be a bit weird for him as well. But yeah, man, it's going to be an amazing one. And, players against their old club, listen, if Bellingham scores, you heard it here first. Them ones there, man. Players against their old club, they always got a dunk on them with a goal or something. But yeah, man, he's gonna be hungry for that first Champions League for sure, man. And listen, if he gets that Champions League and he wins the Euros too with England, Ballon d'Or shouts. You see, like there's so many different angles to this storyline, which is what makes it so interesting. The boy from Kennington, a real London boy, Jadon Sancho. Do you get it? Like obviously, he's had his ups and downs at United. It didn't work for him, but sometimes guess what? Just go back to your ex club. Go back to your ex club. That's what he did. He was like, cool. You know what, Ten Hag, this thing ain't working. I ain't apologizing to you. You're making me look mad in public. I'm gonna cut to Dortmund. And he's been thriving since. You know, he got his knockout goal. He's been performing. He's happy at Dortmund. You know, you can see a smile on his face when he's playing. The tricks have come back. Like, it really changes. It really changes a player when they're in the mood. Like, obviously, looking at it surface level, you're like, yeah, just play the game, you know, as and when or whatever. But listen, when you're in the right environment, which Jadon Sancho is in now, the way you can thrive is different. And you can see he's thriving. He's in familiar territory. You know, obviously he knows the city, the place, as a club, his teammates, the fans, the connection is there. And for sure, definitely, Dortmund will be looking at, you know, keeping him beyond the season. And listen, to Jadon Sancho's storyline spooky, because if Jadon Sancho gets a Champions League and, you know, he's one of the main characters in, you know, the final and stuff, it's going to be looking really interesting for Ten Hag. It's going to be looking really interesting for Ten Hag, you know. I'm not going to lie. But listen, big up Jadon Sancho. A lot of the footballing world want to see him do well, because obviously that situation he was in at United was an odd one. And funny enough, that situation actually sparked after we beat United 3-1 at the Emirates, and Ten Hag was frustrated when a question about Jadon Sancho and threw him under the bus there. So yeah, Arsenal's always having to have a say in things. But yeah, man, listen, for Jadon Sancho to have a Champions League to his name, that would be a madness. I'm not gonna lie, especially after the ups and downs he had at the start of the season. If he said Jadon Sancho would be a Champions League winner at the start of June, I'd be like, what? I said, wait, so when you mean 2024 June, like Jadon Sancho's gonna have a Champions League medal around his neck? Like, if you told me that in September, I would have been like, what? What do you mean United are getting to the... Oh, at Dortmund? Wait, what? Like, it would be crazy. Do you get it? But this is a serious storyline. Look, all the different types of storylines at play just make it so interesting. But now we're going to go into the managers. For Edin Terzic, you see, he's only a young manager. He's only 41. He's been in and around Dortmund since 2010 to 2013. I'm pretty sure he was operating as a scout. He had a stint at Besiktas. He was actually one of the assistant coaches to Slaven Bilic's West Ham as well. Came back to Dortmund in technical directing role, and now he's reassumed the role as a manager after, that successful year he had when he won the DFB Pokal in 2020-2021 season. So yeah, man, that's the only honour to his name at Dortmund. And how great would it be if he could add a Champions League to that, man? Because especially how, last season ended on the final day, the heartbreak, Dortmund not being able to get over the line in a match you just thought they just had to win, they just should win, they're going to win. Like, it just didn't happen for him and the whole Dortmund team. And for that city, for that team, for the fans, for the players, a Champions League would be a madness. It would be a madness, man. I think that probably immortalised Terzic, long in the memories of Dortmund fans. I'm telling you, because Dortmund fans, they won't forget. They won't forget. I'm telling you, man. And winning the Champions League would do the world of good for Edin Terzic. He probably, just add a different kind of hunger. Because the thing is, you can have a hunger to win something, but once you actually get your hands on it, it's going to be different after that, isn't it? And he's got a long time left in his career if he wants to continue managing, course, because obviously, he can do different roles. But at the age of 41, to get a Champions League, Solid. The only one I could think of, who's done it at 41? Mourinho, I think for Porto, he done it at 41 as well. Yeah, man. To have a Champions League medal at 41 as a manager, that's crazy, I'm not gonna lie. And listen, he's going up against the vet and Don Carlo, who we're gonna move on to. You see this guy, yeah? You see Don Carlo, yeah? I can't lie. This is everyone's favourite manager in the world. I have to be real. He's everyone's favourite manager. You know what's crazy? They thought he was down and out when he was at Everton and he took them to 8th. Or something like that. He took them to 8th with that team. He brought them James Rodriguez. James Rodriguez only came to Everton, well, mainly came to Everton for Carlo Ancelotti. Because Carlo's got that pull, do you get? Even when he was at Napoli, they're like, oh, Carlo's down and out. Came back to Real Madrid. Man management top tier. Look, the whole reason Bellingham's been able to blossom like this is because of Carlo's, management of the team and, placing Jude Bellingham higher up the field and, finding a way to kind of like have Vinny and Rodrigo operators, split strikers. Like, Carlo understands. He knows what he's doing. He's been in the game for a long time, and he's got accolades left, right, centre, Champions League, different clubs. He's been successful, different places. Milan, Chelsea, like, this guy, he's born to win. He's a serious guy. He's a serious guy, man. And he's second stint at Real Madrid. I think that's really cemented it. Because I feel like before that, a lot of man forget Carlo this, Carlo that. Because obviously, in your head, all you see is Pep this, Pep that. Obviously, Pep's one of the GOATs too as a manager, but Carlo, he's up there, man. Carlo's up there. He's up there. How many Champions Leagues has this guy won? He's a serial winner. And if he adds another notch to his belt on Saturday, conversations start to get really interesting. Really interesting, man. But yeah, man, this is what's going to make it so exciting. Obviously, we've got like so many different things at play here. So many legacies can be enhanced. That's what makes it beautiful, man. But listen, at the end of the Saturday night, a winner will be crowned, and two teams can't win. There can only be one winner, so it's going to be interesting. But you know what? I think I can't see Real Madrid losing this one. This is going to be my prediction here. I think Cruz retiring, Bellingham hungry for his first. I think Dortmund will put up a very good fight, but I think Real Madrid will be just too strong for them. I think it will be 2-1 to Real Madrid. 2-1 to Real Madrid, man. Dortmund are gonna put in one hell of a fight, but I think Real Madrid, they're just gonna be tunnel vision focused on one. Vinny's gonna have something to say. Yeah. I think 2-1. I think Dortmund are gonna put in a good fight though. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a great game. And listen, as a neutral, Real Madrid winning, that's cool. They get a 60th. Dortmund winning, that's gonna be a very, very interesting conversation. But listen, let me know what you think, man. But I hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, Champions League final will be there.